this computer. Perfect. So welcome to our Rock Stars on the Rise, call number 4. So we are in our final call of this program, and we hope that you guys enjoyed the last week's call. We will be having a survey coming out to you guys after this one, but we want to congratulate you on continuing with the program, and we're hoping that it is helping you out with your business and just your personal growth too, because that was part of our goal behind it as well. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to share my screen here and get started with this call this evening. So here we go. So today we are going to start with taking a few minutes to share our little wins. And I'm going to ask anybody that wants to come off mute to come off mute and share, or you can drop in the chat just any little wins you had this week with regards to your business. You know, it's that maybe you did some follow-ups, you did your host coaching, you submitted a party, maybe you shared the opportunity, maybe you were someone that was having trouble with overcoming objections, and after last week you went back through and were able to at least follow up with some people with objections, or maybe you overcame some personal barriers or negative perceptions that you personally had. So anybody want to come off mute and share a little win that they may have had this week? Yvette, come on off. I'm going to put you on spotlight. Okay.
Okay, well, I had 4 parties for this month. It was a win for me, and I loved it. But through Linda coaching me, I continued to do follow-ups, and I added 2 more to my June calendar.
Yeah.
2 more parties.
Awesome.
So, yeah, so that's a win for me, and I'm like totally excited.
That is awesome. Congratulations, Yvette. That is a win, and that's a big win. Oop, I'm moving ahead. Sorry, guys. Okay. Anybody else want to come off chat? I see, Heather, is that you raising your hand?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, so I actually was blocked via Facebook. So I had a party starting on Friday and was unblocked on Thursday and was able to start both of my parties on Friday with no problem, and the hosts don't even realize it.
Awesome. Yeah, I think there was a glitch going on Thursday last week. I don't think it was just people being blocked. I think it was a Facebook glitch, but I'm really happy that your parties were able to get started and nobody knows, right?
Yep.
That is, again, a big win, I think.
Hey, it's Jenny. Just one other one to share. I've been doing a lot of follow-ups on people who didn't respond to my first or second late request to host.
Yeah.
Randomly, they're starting to pop back in with, sure, I'll do one. So
Hey.
the follow-ups are paying off.
Awesome. Yep. And sometimes, and what you're going to see, Jenny, and most of you, is the people that you started talking to now, this is going to start determining your calendar for like 90 days out. So this is your first 30 days out from your program, and you're just going to start seeing that explosion 60 to 90 days out. So awesome.
Hey, that's actually a question. How far out do you book? I feel like if I don't book in the next couple of weeks, that I'm going to lose their interest or engagement.
So if they won't book in June, I will offer July next. And honestly, it depends on my calendar. So there are some people that truly just don't have, like, there are some people that truly already have all the bookings on their calendar that they want for June, and some even close to July. So I would always base it on getting your first available dates booked, but don't let that booking go. So if they want to wait a little bit longer, then get a date on the calendar. And I would say anywhere between 3 and 4 months out. Once it starts hitting 6 months, unless they're really gung-ho. I don't know. Crystal, you want to add to that?
I book when they want to book. If they want to get on my calendar, I put them on my calendar. And because sometimes I have hosts that say, you know, no, not right now, but then I always offer them the opportunity to book maybe a few months and it's like later. And I say, it's just a tentative party. You know, I always check in with my host about a week before the party starts. And then your host can get credit for the party. So I have bookings in September right now, just because that's when they wanted to book. And I'm all for booking in advance.
Right.
And I feel like if I need to change it, I can change it. If they need to change it, they can change it, but at least they're on my calendar, and then they're there for me to reach out to at
Yeah.
that time.
But most of the time, Crystal, you've already offered them an earlier date.
Yes.
And they just,
First, I offer them the offer. Oh, yeah. Sorry if that wasn't clear. I always offer them the 2 dates I have available first. And if they say, no, not right now, or they're not, not anytime soon, then I always offer them a couple months in advance just to get them on my calendar.
awesome. Okay. And let's see, is there anybody else video-wise that's on video that wants to come off mute? I can't see if you're raising your hand, so go ahead and just put yourself off mute if you want to share. Okay. I see Chantel dropped in the chat that she got 3 more to host just this week, and she has 2 in September because they are excited for the fall catalog. So we don't even know what the fall catalog is yet, but our customers know that good stuff comes out in the fall. So that's awesome. Yay. Okay. Anybody else?
Yeah, Sam, this is Teresa. I just wanted to, my win is I got my first recruit, and we started her launch party on Friday.
Awesome. Congratulations, Teresa.
Thank you.
Awesome. Okay. Great. Okay. Crystal, can you do me a favor?
Yes.
Can you message Tony, and unless you're friends with Patrice, or Latrice is on here too. Latrice, you're on Patrice's team, right?
Yes, I'm on.
Are you driving right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
I got it. I'll text her, Sam.
Okay. Who said that?
Carissa.
Carissa, yeah. If you want to just text Patrice and see if she's going to be on, because she was going to be our speaker next, so we'll have to come back to her. But I just want to make sure that I know 7 or 8 o'clock snuck up on me tonight, considering it is still light out. So I'm sure that a lot of people are feeling the same way. Okay, so thank you guys so much for sharing your little wins. We'll go back to our testimonial in a bit. So I wanted to kind of get into our mindset moment today. And our mindset moment is comparison is the thief of joy. And I see a typo there. You guys, we just created these slides. Apologize about that. So we'll fix those as we go. But comparison is the thief of joy. So I know that some of you may be on here tonight, and I want to ask you guys, do you find that you compare yourself to others or their successes? So maybe you heard someone say, I got more parties tonight, or I got a recruit. Are you guys comparing yourselves to them or to their successes? You don't have to answer this out loud, or you can if you want. I think that if you guys can be honest with yourselves and others, that is awesome. And if so, how does that make you feel? Every minute, and you guys can drop in the chat, this is a safe place. We keep it there. Every minute you guys spend wishing you had something someone else has is the minute that you rob yourself of joy in your own life. So instead of comparing yourself and your strengths, think about it as, what can you learn from others? What can you learn from what others have done and what their successes were? And honestly, if we keep comparing ourselves to other successes, we really can fall in a dangerous zone of self-limiting beliefs, which keep us from moving forward. You will have so much more peace and joy when you focus on your own journey and let other successes fuel you rather than sideline you. So let yourself off the hook, guys. You don't need to be anyone else but yourself. And be proud about who you are and what you have accomplished in this program. The only comparison you should make is to yourself. So I'd love to hear from you guys. Do you feel confident about your strengths in one area and discover that there were perhaps others that you still wanted to work on? Have your skills improved through this program? Have you grown as a person personally? Maybe you haven't seen it in your business yet, but you've seen yourself personally grow. And are you further along than where you started? And again, if there's areas that you're still wanting to work on, that's normal. That's just you're blooming in your own time. And I want you guys to celebrate the successes that you have had and stop caring about what others are doing. So I see some people dropping in the chat that they are, that their skills have improved and they're learning what you're best at and things you can be proud of. And you're learning different skill sets. And I think and everybody's at different points. Jamie, that's great. Everybody's at a different point in their business. And so not to try to all get the same skill set. I mean, there's people on here that have been doing the business for a long time, and Jamie, you've been in with us for about a month. So, and there's a lot of people in that situation. I think Chantel, you're with us for about a month now too. So, yes. Oh, Patrice is here. You're fine, Patrice. We'll finish this part and then we'll go back to you. Awesome. Okay. So again, stop comparing yourself to others. And I want you guys to really look at what you guys have bloomed in over these past 4 weeks. But I also want you to think now, what can we learn from others and other successes? And what makes that someone successful? Because there are qualities of people that are successful, or there are characteristics that you could learn from and develop yourself. So strengths of a successful person: they're disciplined, they're accountable, they're consistent, they have defined goals with a deadline, they make time to take action to work on their goals. Okay, and successful people, if you're going to compare yourself to someone who is successful, let's compare the actions they are taking to be successful. So they are taking the actions to be disciplined in touching their business in the times that they say they're going to do it during their Pampered Chef hours. It might only be 5 to 10 minutes a day if that's what they put their hours down as, but they're disciplined to do it. They're accountable to the actions that they put forth for themselves and the goals that they want. They're consistent. Consistency, I know for those of you who have been with us since the beginning of the year, that's the McGuire Organization word of the year. Staying consistent. It's so easy to get excited about something and then level off, but consistency is key. And then successful people have defined goals with a date. And then they make time to take action on their goals. So which of these do you have control over? And you guys aren't supposed to see the answer to this, but I couldn't figure out transitions. So which of these do you guys have control over? You guys can type in the chat. All of them. Everybody has control over being self-disciplined and accountable and consistent and making your own goals and then finding that time to work on their goals. Okay. I have my notes on my phone so you guys can see the screen. So I apologize if I'm looking down like that. Okay. So one of the things that we have heard people say is that time is a factor, right? How many of you guys, and you can type in the chat, have challenges finding time to work on your business? And that's one of your biggest reasons to yourself for not finding the time to get it done. Anybody? You can type yes to time. And honestly, successful people have strengths in time management. Everyone gets the same 24 hours in a day and 7 days in a week. But what we make time for is what we truly want. Okay, we make time for the things that we truly want. So I want to ask you this, and you guys, I definitely really want you to drop this in the chat. What prevents you from taking time to work on your business? What prevents you from taking time to work in your business? Kids, Crystal, I can feel you there.
Kids. Homeschooling.
Scrolling on social media. Oh, Jenny, I know that one too. Jamie, another full-time job, kids and family. School schedule. Last week, Carissa, woo! I'm excited. Working on other activities that you've committed to doing. So you guys drop in the chat, what prevents you from taking the time to work on your business? And I'm going to tell you guys that all these things are valid reasons, but it's all about finding time management and work-life balance. My team, you know me, I preach that calendar. You need to have that work-life balance, but there are ways for you guys to find the time to do it if it's what you truly want to do. Okay, it's about prioritizing what is important. We're going to go over that tonight because I think that's huge for everybody to see where they can fit that time in if they really want it to. And honestly, I can tell you sometimes I use my kids as an excuse, right? Because I could have been scrolling on social media all day and then it hits bedtime and, oh, I can't do it because I don't have time because I have to take care of my kids. Well, I could have done it earlier in the day, right? So just an example, but let's learn to take control of your time. So time is a container, guys. Okay, and again, we want to make sure that you're keeping the balance that you want in your life. We want to make sure that you are having time for your business, for your family, for your significant other, and yourself. It is so important to balance those things because if you don't keep balance of those, one thing always takes over. And there's going to be seasons for things. There's going to be seasons where right now, Pampered Chef may just be super busy because holy crap, everybody wants to buy Pampered Chef stuff and party because we've been in quarantine. And there's going to be times like around the holidays that your family is going to take over being a priority. Or like Carissa said, it's the end of school. We've been homeschooling kids for a couple months now. So that took priority over some things. But I want you to write down just right now what time you wake up and what time you go to sleep. Write it down on a piece of paper and then you can drop it in the chat if you want. What time you personally wake up and what time you personally go to sleep. In an average, it's not going to be the same every single night. I understand, depends on what's going on, but on average, some people may have that down to a science. And that is your container of time. So drop in the chat, what is your container of time? I see some times coming in there and everybody's is going to be different. So don't compare yourself. Then we're not going to have you do this on this call right now, but I'm going to show you guys an activity that you're going to do to move forward. Then we're going to have you write down everything you do during the day. And this is your typical day, guys. Okay. This is like, I need to shower. I definitely need to make lunch for me. I need to make dinner. I need to get my kids here. Maybe you have a standing appointment that you do every single day. This is stuff that you do every single day, almost no matter what. Okay. And I want you guys to start thinking about those things. And if you're thinking of them now, write them down on your notebook because you're going to want to use them for later. And what we're going to do is an activity that's going to have you discover hidden pockets of time. Because when you start writing down the things that you have going on and what times you do them, and you start kind of doing a time study for yourself, you're going to realize, oh, I guess I do have a little bit of time there. And I usually just get on a Facebook and scroll through it. Or maybe you turn on the television and 2 hours goes by and you're like, oh, I just binge watched way too much, right? So those are going to be those pockets of time you might see. So here is what your old schedule may have looked like. Just a generic, wake up, make the kids breakfast, shower and get ready, blah, 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 right? So this is our generic daily calendar. But let's be honest, whose day looks the same every single day of the week? Is anybody's? No, it does not. So I want you guys to think about using time blocking. And this is taking your calendar for every day of the week and plugging in those things that are priority to you and that are going to occur every day. So this is my pre-COVID calendar, guys. Okay, so it doesn't quite look like this anymore, but like there are certain things for me that I knew occurred every like each week, and those were non-negotiables for me. So for me, Bible study, church, CrossFit, and dinner with my family were non-negotiables. Those are happening on those days of the weeks. Those are things that, you know, my kids in church and things like that were priority to me. And you guys, I wrote those in. Okay, when they had school, I had to get my kids lunch made and out the door in the morning by 7:30. I had to take my preschooler to preschool and drop him off at that time. I had to get my kindergartner off the bus at that time. Those were non-negotiables. Happy half hours on there. This is before we had all these trainings. My Monday nights look very different now. But that was, for me, something that I knew happened every single Monday. Okay? So I want you guys to start thinking about creating a weekly schedule like this. And some of you are going to have full-time jobs. So you're going to have, you know, from 9 to 5, I work at this place. But I want you to think at your work, do you have a lunch break? Okay, because that's something, and if you don't, then you don't. I know school teachers, sometimes you just don't. Your lunch break, you probably run into the copy room and things like that. So that's your time container, right? But you'll start seeing some other things pop up and little things pop up there. So when you're creating your new weekly schedule, I want you to think about color coding, and you can color code it by commitment, and you can prioritize by commitment. You can review with your support system. So that might be a significant other. It might be a parent. It might be just someone that you want to hold you accountable. Sometimes going over this stuff with, I know Crystal is someone that I've had, you know, share her time schedule with me so I can help hold her accountable. And then reviewing it weekly or daily is super important. So you have an idea of what pockets of time you have during that day. A lot of people choose to review it the night before, so you're mentally prepared when you wake up the next day for what you need to do. And then you guys can see, you can color code it by whatever. And on my time blocking one, the teal was Pampered Chef, if you guys couldn't figure that out. My green was non-negotiable, spiritual and family and personal fitness stuff. And then my kids were yellow at that time. And my kids are about to come in now, so just deal with the noise, right? Sorry, guys. Okay, so, hi, baby. So that's kind of one of the activities we are going to highly, highly encourage you to partake in, and send it to your director, because that's going to help you identify pockets of time for Pampered Chef. And even if it ends up being 15 to 30 minute increments, those are going to be those hidden pockets of time that you guys can get a few things done in. Okay, does anybody, before I move on from this part of the time blocking schedule, have any questions about it? You can drop them in the chat or take yourself off mute. I know Carissa or anybody that was at our retreat already saw this information, but it might be helpful to review.
Sam,
Yes.
I work night shift, so mine is completely odd. It's going to bed at 8:30 and waking up at 4:30 p.m.
And you're going to do your time container different. You're going to have to write your times. My sister is a night shift nurse, so hers is going to be probably flipped. You know.
Yeah, and I have 2 days off usually a week that I focus strictly on my businesses.
Yep. So then you would kind of make that look a little bit different. So
yeah.
This is very personalized. This is your time block is going to look completely different from my time block. Crystal and I both have kids, both work Pampered Chef pretty much full time, but our time blocks look very different from each other's, even doing similar things. Okay. So again, don't compare yourself to others. This is about finding your personal blocks of time that you can fit some of that stuff in. Okay. Anybody else have any questions about time blocking? I think everybody will be able to probably Google some sort of weekly schedule or calendar, hour by hour type thing. Some people might have a planner with that. But if you guys don't have one, let us know and we can send you one. But this is, again, just generic spreadsheet type stuff. Okay, cool. Okay, so last thing for some time blocking tips. When you're creating your containers, I want you to think about what your personal categories are. Okay, so your personal categories might be different from what we had listed. And then I want you guys to think about when you aren't multitasking, you have a set block of time to work on your business or spend time with your family. And you are going to be more present and not worried about what you are getting done. Okay, guys, so if you're time blocking, this is family time, then don't focus on Pampered Chef at that time. Focus on being present with your family. Though that has to work the opposite way too. If you create Pampered Chef office hours, or if you're committing to some sort of Pampered Chef time for yourself, let your support person or your family know, this is my office time. I need to be able to focus on this stuff now so I can play with you later. Or I need to be able to focus on this stuff now so we can go to happy hour later. Whatever it looks like in your life, it has to work on both sides. And again, multitasking, there's so many studies that shows that just doesn't work. We think we can, but you don't absorb the information as much and you end up having to go back through it. And guys, this is a starting point. If something big comes up, like a crisis, like COVID, illness, a death, that is okay. You just get back to your time block as soon as you can. And if it becomes a permanent change, like we have with COVID, then you go in and adjust your time block and your time containers to your new normal. Okay. Awesome. That is that part. I'm going to go back, Crystal, to Patrice really quick. I think she's on here. And I asked Patrice to speak this evening, and I'm going to stop sharing because Patrice is one of our newest directors, and she is on under Tony Pierce. And I know, and Patrice, I know this is not your thing to get on the video here, and I really appreciate it, but Patrice has done some amazing things, and I really wanted her to share with you because she's been going through this program with you along with promoting to director and working her business. So Patrice, I'm going to spotlight you and let you share a little bit about yourself and just kind of your experience.
Okay, well, I'm Patrice Hoggart, and I joined the Pampered Chef team around April 17th or 18th or something like that. It was like mid-April. And I just kind of jumped in and just followed what I was told to do. The training has been absolutely amazing. So following what you guys are telling us and following the training on Dash has really been helpful. And just, paying attention to a lot of the little jewels that people throw out there has all helped me. And funny you were speaking about whether you get sick and things like that. I am personally recovering from COVID, and I'm coming up on my second week, and I was able to still, I guess my determination is what kind of kept me going to still do the parties, sick and all, and and still I was still able to promote, fast track promote to director. I think that's worth saying because I was really feeling bad on some days, but Rockstars on the Rise has been a tremendous help to get me to where I am, and goes up from here, I guess.
Awesome. Well, Patrice, I'm glad that you're on the up and up, and everybody, we just talked about keys to successful people, and Patrice, I'm hoping that you've taken some time to just take to yourself, but consistency, you have just demonstrated consistency and accountability even when times are rough. And that is a amazing quality, and that's awesome.
Thank you.
So, and then I wanted to ask you, I know that you are doing Rockstars on the Rise right along with everybody here.
Yes.
So what did you find the importance of these bookings were when you were growing your business right now?
They're very important. Being in Rockstars on the Rise has kind of taken me out of my comfort zone, in the sense of, a lot of times I was afraid to ask people. I was afraid to bug people. We hear that a lot. And honestly, it just got me in a different mindset, and it helped me to not be so afraid, or even bothered when someone says no, or if someone gives me a crazy response. And just listening to some of the things that you guys have been telling us for Rockstars on the Rise, when I get those things, I'm no longer bothered by it. And you ask about the importance of bookings. They have been very important, because even if the parties don't do as well as you think, the more parties you have, the higher your numbers. Even if it's just one order in the party, that's something that's counting towards your goal of whatever your goal was set for the month. So, I think it's worth noting that no matter what the amount is, it's still counting towards your final goal.
Awesome. Thank you. And then I have to ask, because again, we've talked about that, that not everybody reached those 12 to 16 bookings to promote to director. And so I think, Patrice, you're a fabulous example. So how many bookings did you get on your calendar for June?
For June, right now I'm at 9.
9. Awesome. And she's working her business strong. So I want everybody to know that, everybody, just like Patrice showed, is at a different place in their business. And it doesn't mean that because someone has 16 bookings that they're more successful than someone that has 9 bookings. I think it's all in what you're doing. And Patrice, you're rocking it, girl. So thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
Anybody has questions for Patrice, please drop them in the chat. I know that she'll be on for a little bit.
Yeah.
And and she'll be able to answer them either in the chat or at the end. But thank you, Patrice, for sharing. I appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so now we are going to go back to, Patrice just spoke on bookings and how important bookings are with continuing to move your business forward, whether it's just with one more order or more people that you're getting in touch with. So I'm going to pass the bar to Crystal here, who is going to talk about getting your bookings at your parties. Because guys, you all have parties now. And how cool would it be that you could just get your bookings at your parties and not have to keep doing these reach outs every single month? So I'm going to share my screen again. Oh, maybe. Hold on. Am I sharing my screen? Can you guys see the PowerPoint?
The PowerPoint, but we see the whole thing.
There we go.
There we go.
Okay, perfect.
All right, guys. So now that you have time blocking system, you want to fill your PC time with actions that will help you take control. And you want to spend the time doing the right tasks that will help you become successful. So we want to make sure that you guys make these tasks a priority. And one of those tasks is booking parties. Now, you guys probably already know this, but 80% of Pampered Chef parties are booked within your parties. Those are going to be the guests that join your parties. That the guests that join the parties are the ones that know Pampered Chef, are interested in Pampered Chef, and are familiar with Pampered Chef. So those are the people that you are going to want to reach out for parties. And your goal is going to be to get at least 3 bookings from every party. And one big way to help you get those bookings is through your host coaching. So when you use your host coaching and you create a relationship with your host and you make your host feel successful in their party, and you make your host feel like they can trust you as the consultant, and that they're a priority and their party is a priority, they're going to want to help and work for you. So, and you're going to create that partnership with your hosts, and they'll feel successful, and they're going to want to help you get those bookings. So let's talk about some other things you can do to get bookings in your party. So here are some other things. You can encourage virtual and in-party hosts to be actively involved in the party. So making sure your host is posting as much as they can, responding, tagging in the parties. You're going to feature a power tool and share how to get it at a discount for free. I have one of our directors, Melissa, who are running a launch party together, and she posted one in our launch party that we're kind of co-hosting together that I actually grabbed for my parties today. And it features the quick cooker, the air fryer, the blender, and what am I missing? Quick cooker, air fryer, blender. There's a fourth one. Get the fourth one on there. I'm blanking on the fourth one. But anyways, so it just, and her post is just basically, which one would you like? Which one would you like to get for 50% off? And comment down for double participation points. And guess what? When they comment, I'm going to message them, asking them if they would like to do a party, if they would like to get that air fryer for 60% off, or would they like to get the quick cooker for 50% off by hosting a party. It's a way to reach out to them, seeing what they want, seeing what your guests want. So you're going to share all the benefits of hosting at every party that lead to free through your posts, and just having a conversation with your guests. You're going to personally invite everyone to host during the checkout. So when you do your checkout post, I always text message, or Facebook message my guests if they have ordered. I let them know about the COVID delay. And then I offer them the opportunity to book a party with me, letting them know that their host can get something for 50% off, and that I would love to share the host benefits with them, and ask them if they are interested, always ending with a question. And I have gotten parties that way too, even though my host didn't add them to the host challenge when we do the host challenge, which we'll be talking about in a minute. I always offer them the opportunity, and I might get an extra party or two at the end of the party. Another thing, offer party themes to spark interest. So if you know you had a lot of guests in your parties that have kids, you can do a party with some kid themes, or summer parties. People are looking for stuff for barbecuing and stuff like that. And then use drawing slips or virtual parties to create an online survey to learn about guest interest. And we're going to be going into this a little bit more. We're going to talk about a mid-party survey that you can kind of incorporate in the middle of your party. And then you guys have already seen in McGuire's, we have an end-party survey too that's helpful to kind of get to know your guests. You can use that as a booking tool as well. Right. Okay, booking challenges, which is perfect because guess what today is? Today is Monday, and Monday is host booking challenge in our host coaching. So if you guys are using the host coaching, you know that Monday afternoon, we always send a message to our hosts challenging them to help us book 3 parties out by sending those messages to 5 to 10 guests that might be interested in a party. So you probably have read the wording before. I just want to send you a quick message saying, thanks so much for going to my online party. I really wanted to host a party online because I love the products, so and so and so on. You guys, I don't probably have to read it because you guys have probably seen it. So this is a way for your host to put you in a group message, you, the host, and the potential host in a group message. Is a way for you to respond and connect to them. And what I always do is I always offer them 2 dates for a party and come in and ask them if they would be interested in hosting a party. And that wording is all in the host coaching. Another way, and Sam, I actually haven't done this yet, so I might actually have you chime in if you've done this before. Would surprise the host, is that if your host doesn't decide to do the host challenge, is this something you could do, or you can do it alongside the host challenge?
Yeah, so this was a suggestion from Pampered Chef. I personally haven't done this yet because my hosts tend to accept the host challenge.
Yep.
But yeah, if you have a host that maybe is just like, I am not comfortable with, reaching out to friends that way, then I would say that, you guys have that open door opportunity with guests who have purchased in the party or who are participating. And then you can have that kind of conversation with them and just let your host know, say, that's okay, I'll go ahead and reach out to some of your guests for you then. But I would always try to start with the actual host making that connection with you first, because they're going to have a little bit more of a warm lead than and it's not just coming from a salesperson. Even though you guys are genuine and you really want to help people, we all know that you're going to respond to something your friends suggest more than if some salesperson comes up to you, right? So that's just another option. So you guys, if you want to take a screenshot of this, this is available, and I think it's in Dash somewhere, but go ahead and take your phones out now and take the screenshot of that. Okay. If we need to come back to it, I'll come back to it at the end too. Okay, here we go.
All right, mid-party survey. So this is something that I started incorporating into my parties actually since the last Rock Stars on the Rise. So your mid-party surveys, I post mine in Sunday, I think I do. It was either Sunday or Monday, I forget when I put it in. And what, it's a quick survey, just asking them, you know, their name, whose party they attended, especially if they're doing, if you have a couple block parties running, you know, so you know whose party they attend, you know, how they like the party, would they be interested in hosting a party? Can I share mine, Sam? Would you mind?
No, I'm gonna stop sharing.
Yeah, can I show my screen? Because I have mine pulled up.
Yep.
All right, you might have to enable me to share.
Oh yeah, sorry guys. Let me see. Okay.
It's easier to go through it if I can share it.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see if I can find mine. Okay. If I can find it.
So while she's pulling that up, we have created ours on Google Forms. Super easy, it's free. You can just share the link with people. There's other ways you can do it, but that's what Crystal's gonna show you.
Okay, so this is my mid-party survey. Let me see if I can pull up the questions. So you can kind of tweak it. You can change the coloring. You can change the picture up here. So your first and last name, whose party are you attending? Have you found this a fun way to attend a Pampered Chef party? Would you be interested in hosting your own online party? And then are you planning on getting some new products for your kitchen or buying as a gift? And then if you could have any item in the catalog, what would it be? And then of course, if they're, you know, telling you the big items, you're going to reach out for a party for them. And then you can offer them the opportunity to join your VIP page, or if they make sure that they've liked your business page. And then this is kind of the last question. I like how it's worded because it's just like, you know, this is the furthest thing from your mind, but would you be interested in learning about a little bit more about the information? Because you guys know that when you post the business posts on the party, there are some people that are very timid about being like asking those questions and saying, yes, 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 I want more information. I like this because this is a way for them to kind of privately say, yeah, I'm kind of interested, or yes, I would kind of like a little bit more information. And then I include the kits at the end. So, and I have had people that have been like, you know, I don't think I would have time, and and then I will reach out to them and talk about, you know, how we can make that work and make that fit into their life and make Pampered Chef fit into the, you know, fit what they do, and just kind of get to know them and how I can help them and encourage them. So this is the mid-party check-in survey, and I actually got a couple. I did one the other day, and I have a couple potential parties that they said they would like a little bit more information. So I'm going to reach out to them and see if I can get a party off them. So this isn't just another way to reach out to your guests and connect with your guests through that mid-party survey.
Awesome. So before we go on to the next part, because that's going to be a little bit more about, we're going to touch a little bit based on recruiting. Let's take an honest moment. How many of you are actually using the host coaching guide in any capacity that is on McGuire Movers and Shakers? Let's be honest. You can. Okay, so I see Yvette's using it. You can drop in the chat if you're using it. And then I want to know how many people are following it like pretty consistently. You might tweak your wording, or you might have changed a little bit up of what you do what day, because as you do parties, you may not. Is anybody not using it? And that's okay if you're not, because sometimes it's out of sight, out of mind. And everybody knows where it is, right? And if you don't know where it is, feel free. Okay, Jenny, you just found it. Awesome. The fact that you found it is good. And we have it in 2 different forms. So we have it in the Word document as well as in the actual units. So I personally download the Word document and tweak it to the wording that I use and have it on my Google Docs. So some people like having it on Facebook. So wherever you are, you're just able to click, copy, paste. So awesome.
Can I ask Crystal a question?
Yes.
So I may have missed it, but the survey, is that something you created?
Yes, I created on Google Form. There's actually a happy half hour that I went over on how to create the Google survey. This might be before maybe some of you have joined.
Okay.
If you go in the units and look
Right.
up happy half hours, what unit is happy half hours in? I forget. Do you remember, Sam?
We just changed the units again. So
Yeah.
just go to units and search. You'll see a whole unit called Happy Half Hour.
And there'll be a whole happy half hour on how to create a Google survey because it was right after I started using it.
Okay, perfect.
And it's
Thank
really
you.
And this Happy Half Hour was probably in April.
Yes.
Because that's the first time that we started really using it. So it's
Okay.
you have to scroll too far back. Awesome. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome. Okay. Great. So if anybody has any questions about the host coaching guide or anything like that, please let your directors know. If you don't know where it is, that's okay. If you're not implementing it and you're like, I just need help figuring out how to implement it, ask your director because we're here to assist and support. And it's going to look a little bit different for everybody, but we can almost guarantee that if you're following the concepts in that, your life's going to be 10 times easier for your virtual parties, and you're going to start seeing results with bookings and recruits and things like that. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen again. And Crystal, you're back.
Okay. All right, guys. So this is something that is really important. And because I am a perfect example, and Sam will tell you every time, I was a 4 or 5 host asker. Sam asked me a billion times, it felt like a billion times, if I wanted to join Pampered Chef. I said no, and I said no, and I said no. We even talked during my home party. And I was asking her a bunch of questions. So I'm sure, and I can imagine, like, I look back and I'm like, God knows what was going through her head as she's asking me. She's like, yeah, this girl really needs to just sign on the dotted line at this point. But I was a 5 asker, and you guys look where I am now. I'm an advanced director with Pampered Chef and growing my business strong. So if Sam didn't ask me 5 times, I wouldn't be where I am today. So, and I know I have a lot of consultants on my team as well that are also 4 or 5 ask. And I know, a lot of you guys might feel like it's kind of being pushy, but it's really not. You're just offering the opportunity, and it's not about you. It's about you wanting to offer the opportunity. And I think the most important thing to remember when you're asking a host during a party is offering the opportunity when you see small successes in their party. And this is kind of what this goes over. So the first time you were going to ask a host is right at the beginning of the party. You're going to ask them if they would be interested in turning their party into a launch party and making all the commission off their party, and if that would be something that they would be interested in. And if they say, yeah, maybe, you can show them the consultant kits and kind of continue to have that conversation with them and turn that party over to them. If they say no, they are not interested, or no, not right now, I would still make sure to let them know that you will be asking them again as the party continues. You can, and it's in the host coaching, you guys can say something like, I completely understand what you're saying. And you can say, if you have any questions during the party, feel free to reach out or ask. I might check in as the party continues to see if you have any other questions or whatever. It's in the host coaching, the exact wording, but just preface that you might be asking them again as the party continues. So then when you do your second, third ask, it's not like, oh, why is she asking it again? You've prefaced it that you will be asking them again. The second time you can ask is when they have a lot of guests join their party. So if you see them, they have following the host coaching and they have, 30, 40 guests that have joined their party, even 20, 30, right away. Great. You can tell them that, you have a lot of guests that have already joined in your fund. It seems like They all love Pampered Chef. Have you given any more thought to trying out Pampered Chef? You know, I'd love to give you the bookings and you can kickstart your business. And then another time you can ask, if they're still no, another time you can ask is make sure to ask them when they've reached that kit credit. So if you guys don't know, when our hosts get $300 in sales, they get a $25 kit credit towards a new kit. And then when the sales reach $400, they get a $50 kit credit that they can get put towards the kit. So you can always turn this party over to them, even if it's mid-party. So say they get, I had parties this week that, you know, and I asked my host, I had parties by like Friday, even though we were just starting out, these parties were at like $400 or $500. So I asked them on Friday or Saturday, I don't remember what day I asked, if they would be interested in turning the party over to them because they have earned their kit credit. And if they would have said yes, I would have applied the kit credit, we would have closed that party out, and then I would have turned that party in, and then we would have had restarted the party and let them get the rest of the sales towards them as the consultant. So that is always an option as the party continues. And then another way you can ask is when you get responses from the guest survey. So looking at your survey today that I posted, it looks like you have a lot of friends that would be willing to host a party. You know, if you decide to become a consultant, have you ever, you know, I would give you these bookings. Have you thought any more about becoming a consultant? And then the fifth ask is always when you're closing out the party, you can let them know, I know we've talked about your party and about the Pampered Chef opportunity, and you've been an amazing host, but I would, I could tell that you really love Pampered Chef, and I would love to give you these bookings, and I would love to offer you the opportunity to use the kit credit again towards your party and join if you would be interested in joining the business or joining my party, and I would give you all the bookings that I booked off your party. So 5 times, I know, and it seems like a lot, but it's when you think about it as kind of like little small successes in the parties, I think it doesn't seem like you're being pushy. So that's
and I think, like Crystal was pointing out, when you're using their successes, you're being more authentic and genuine, and you really want them to be successful. And honestly, Crystal, when I asked her finally the 4th or 5th time, she had $900 in sales on her party. We closed it out and gave her the rest of them, and she had an additional, whatever the two combined would have been like $1,400. So I think that it's just a great opportunity. And gosh, I would have never imagined a year ago, Crystal and I met just over a year ago at a party, that, you know, this would be the opportunity that she would have had for her family. And I've had, you know, somebody on my team. So again, it's all about genuine asks, and these are just suggestions on how to ask, but I always encourage you to tweak them to sound like you or to fit the situation.
And I think as you establish, making sure you're establishing a strong relationship with your host, it will come off as genuine because they can trust you, and they see that you're not in it to, you know, as a downline, as somebody else to join my team, but you really see their success and you really think that they would be a good, you know, Pampered Chef consultant, and it's genuine.
Yeah. So. Awesome. So if you guys have parties starting this week, guess what? You have a perfect opportunity to practice in, right? So we're ending this week. So awesome. Okay. So we just wanted to share that we do, and sorry, this image didn't update. There's one June 10th. There's a look and learn on June 10th at 8 o'clock. They're going to be every Wednesday this month in June. And this is a great way to share the opportunity with your consultants, or with your hosts, as well as guests. And I always tell them, I just want to share information without obligation, right? They don't have to join. It just gives them that piece of information. So use these opportunities to your advantage. And if you have somebody that you would like to invite to the look and learn and that is able to join, let your director know, and we'll make sure to get you that Zoom information, okay? Okay, so I know we're just at about 9 o'clock. We're almost done, guys, so I appreciate you guys hanging on with us. Lots of important information tonight. But I want you guys to start thinking about the next Rock Stars on the Rise. Okay, we're starting it June 22nd, which is going to be a Monday because the 21st is Father's Day. And I want you to think about, was this program beneficial to you and your business? You guys can drop these in the chat if you want. Was this program beneficial to you and your business? Will you participate again to build your business? Because we've had people participate again and again, and they do it because they know that they're going to get the bookings and learn more each time. Will you participate again next month or the following month to continue to build your business? And do you personally have anybody on your team underneath you that could really benefit from the structure of this program? Maybe you have somebody that is thinking about starting out, and you could share, we have this awesome program that walks you through step by step how to get this stuff started, right? So do you guys have any personal team members that could really benefit from the structure of this program? And if you guys want to continue, put on your calendar, call number 1 is June 22nd at 8 p.m. It's going to look similar, but maybe you'll have a goal to get to the 12 to 16 bookings, and that training is going to look a little bit different. If you want to do the program again, we'll probably tweak the information a little bit, but it definitely does not hurt to hear it again. We go to conferences and trainings every single year. There's a director retreat every single January, and we go over the same concepts, but every time we hear it, you're like, aha, light bulb. I forgot about that. Aha, that's another thing I can work on. Or I work on one thing at a time. So mark your calendar. June 22nd is the next start date. And there'll be all Monday night at 8 p.m. calls again. And then I have to get off of here very soon because I am doing the new consultant training. Hopefully Sarah Joe is on. I want you guys to continue with a strong month. So where are you in your quest towards getting the bookings and recruits that you want in June? And don't decrease your effort, or sorry, don't decrease your goal, increase your effort. Okay, so if you had a goal to get 12 bookings in June, it's only June 8th, guys. You have plenty of time to get those bookings. If you have the bookings you want right now, start looking forward to July and start that process. So let me know, you guys drop in the chat, where are you in your quest towards getting the bookings and recruits you want this month? You can say, I'm right where I want to be. I want to get more. I'm ready to book in July, whatever you guys want. And then your call to actions. I want you to begin working on your July calendars to maintain a strong personal business. So with the parties you have, use those parties to get bookings. Continue to catch yourself using words that maybe do not reflect a positive mindset. Okay, be more aware of your own perception. Create an online guest survey for your party, so that mid-party survey. Block schedule your calendar for 1 week and evaluate your results. Guys, that's going to be like your number one priority, is doing that block scheduling, because if time is your biggest defeat right now, you have to put that time in place to be able to work on all this stuff. Include in your scheduling steps, include your scheduling steps in the virtual party that will contribute to the success that we spoke about tonight. So in your time blocking, when you put Pampered Chef hours, you may put Monday pre-party, set this up at this time, and you'll get on that schedule and won't even have to think about it. If you have a personal team, if you have anybody that's joined under you, invite them to the next Rockstars on the Rise with you, to join with you June 22nd. And then keep adding names to your list of contacts and your hot list for recruiting and follow-up. Okay. So last thing is if you've really liked experiencing some personal growth opportunities, these are some recommendations for continued personal growth. And these are books, and all of these are on Audible. So if you guys have kids like I do, I don't have time to sit down and read. I'm listening to my Audible or Kindle Fire, whatever, the library, while I'm doing dishes, showering, who knows what. But it's really great times to just work on your personal growth. Take the Stairs by Rory Vaden is a great one. Procrastinate on Purpose, Wisdom of Oz, Strengths Finder, The Energy Bus. And if you need some real good, down-to-earth, confidence-building girl power stuff, Girl Wash Your Face is my #1 recommendation for that. If you don't like her voice, then just put it on really fast. I listen to my Audible at like 1.5, so like 150%. And I get through it, and I just love her concepts. So some people find Rachel Hollis annoying, but her concepts are pretty golden. So I would recommend taking a look at those and picking one and just giving it a try. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is stop sharing. Crystal, can I have you finish up this call here with questions or anything? And I'm gonna make you the host. I'm gonna let you guys go. But thank you guys so much for joining us. Crystal's gonna help wrap it up. And if you guys have any more questions, she's here to finish it up for the evening, okay? So I will see you guys. Bye.